Good evening. Am I audible? Okay. So, my name is and I'm your PMRF TA for this course, Classics in Total Synthesis 1. This course was conducted by Professor Krishna P. Kaliappan. So, in the last week, we discussed about mainly natural products or compounds containing four-membered ring, right? So, to briefly, we will discuss what are the molecules we have already discussed about, you have already learnt about, and then we will discuss the questions for the week 1 assignment. Is that fine? Okay, so let's start. So the first molecule that we you already learnt about is the cubane. So cubane is containing four membered ring. Now there are six four membered ring in this one molecule, which are fused together, and as you can see, there is no functional group that is present in this molecule. And because of the presence of four membered ring, we know that four membered ring is highly strained, and there are six four membered ring in this molecule, which making this molecule very much highly strained. And the molecular weight of this molecule or cubane is 104, which is very less. So, and because of the low molecular weight, this is volatile in nature. Now, because it does not contain any functional group, so the synthesis already become difficult for any scientist to synthesize this in lab. But despite all the challenges, all the strain, this cubane got synthesized. Now let us first discuss about the basic reaction through which we can prepare a four-membered ring. And we know that through photochemical reactions, that is 2 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction, we can prepare a four-membered ring, where we take two alkenes, and under photochemical conditions, this will undergo the preparation of this four membered ring following a concerted mechanism, right? So similarly, if we will cleave this and this bond of the cubane, so retrosynthetically it should be, we are able to get this cubane from this diene compound, following a photochemical 4 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction. But we are not able to get this through 2 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction. There are there are several problems in this. First is that this 2 plus 2 photochemical or cycloaddition reaction is reversible in nature. So reversibility is one of the issue. Then second is, whatever the starting material you want, that is not stable. And because this starting material only is not stable, so you are not able to control the control the reaction and get the cubane. Then instead of intramolecular reactions, intermolecular reactions are more favorable, because in that you will get a polymer chain and not a strained six containing this six four membered molecule. So the because of these challenges, this 2 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction we can't use, or we can't utilize for this synthesis of this cubane molecule. So what are the solutions for this? So the solutions is that if a compound or a target molecule does not contain any functional group, so the first thing that should come to our mind is introduce a functional group on that compound or on that molecule. Now what, there are so many different type of functional groups present in the in the literature. So which functional group we can introduce? So the functional group that you will introduce, it should be removed easily, because introduction, if after the introduction of the functional group on the cubane molecule, you have to remove it at the last to complete the total synthesis of that cubane molecule. So the functional group should be removed easily. Then second thing is, it should be easily obtained from another precursor, or it should be formed easily from the another precursor. Or for getting a four membered ring, the um ring contraction or ring expansion strategies can also be used. So if you have a three membered ring and you did ring expansion, then we can get the four membered ring. Or if you have a five membered ring and you do the ring contraction, then also we will get the four membered ring. Now, three membered ring is itself strained, so it is going to the four membered ring by doing a ring expansion reaction, but five membered rings are stable, so ring contraction strategy is like uh, we can use. So if you have this cyclopropanone on ring, like by treating it with diazomethane, so this diazomethane will add to the carbonyl carbon, and then when the oxygen lone pair will fall back, then the ring of that expansion will take place. So you will get here first this alkoxide ion will form, and here we have this CH2 attached with the leaving group N2. So when this will that oxygen lone pair will fall back, then you will get the ring expansion product, that cyclobutanone. Then because this is the sp2 carbon in the cube, like we don't have any sp2 carbon in the cubane, so we can use a Favorsky rearrangement where you have alpha haloketone, and this alpha haloketone can be converted into cyclobutane by undergoing or by using a Favorsky rearrangement. Now, what is Favorsky rearrangement? Let us discuss first that. So, you have alpha haloketones, and in the presence of base, you are converting that alpha haloketones into carboxylic acid, but with a less number of carbon atoms in the ring. So the Favorsky rearrangement is the reaction of alpha haloketones with a nucleophilic base to their acyl derivatives. And in this rearrangement reaction, you will find out that it extrudes the carbonyl group to the primary position. So the mechanism will follows in such a way that whatever the base is there, it will abstract the alpha proton of the carbonyl group to form first this enolate. Once this enolate will form, then oxygen will push the electron density and it will form a three membered ring by the loss of this chloride ion. Then, as the nucleophilic base is there, so that base will attack on the carbonyl carbon, and then this three membered strained ring will open up by abstraction of proton to give you the corresponding carboxylic acid. So wherever this chloro group was attached, at that position your carboxylic acid will come. So this is Favorsky rearrangement reaction. So the similar kind of reaction we one can use for getting the total synthesis of, or for completion of the synthesis of this cubane molecule. So it is better to move forward with the ring contraction strategy. Now, once we know that we can do the ring contraction strategy, so how many carboxylic acids one can introduce in this cubane molecule? So if we will introduce one carboxylic acid, then we have two five-membered ring and remaining four-membered ring. And we know that into like making four-membered ring is difficult for us. Then if we will introduce two carboxylic acids, then we have four five-membered rings and remaining four-membered ring. So because now we have less number of four-membered ring, then this is the good strategy to use this two carboxylic acid on this cubane molecule. So now where we can put these carboxylic acids, we can put them to have a 1-2 relationship between each other, or 1-3, or 1-4. Now which one is easier, that we have to find out. So this quasi Favorsky rearrangement is in this quasi Favorsky rearrangement. The mechanism is similar. It's like the different only difference comes in the way that at one position you don't have a leaving group. It's just that you this cyclopropane ring will not form. Just simple the migration of one bond will take place to give you the carboxylic acid at the same position where your bromo group was attached. So if you have this alpha haloketone and you are using this sodium ethoxide, so ethoxide will attack on the carbonyl carbon, then alkoxide will form, oxygen lone pair will fall back, and this bond migration will take place. So this bond will migrate to the carbon attached with this bromine, and the bromine will leave to give you the corresponding this acyl derivative. Now, if we have 1,2 carboxylic acid, then you will start with this. Here are four this four 5 membered rings are there and two 4 membered rings are there. So if you can see, this is one of the 4 membered ring and this is the other 4 membered ring in the 1,2 dicarboxylic acid, if the carboxylic acids are present at 1,2 position. Then in case of 1,3 also, you have two cyclobutane ring present in this position. And in case of 1,4 also, we have two cyclobutane ring present here. Now, if we will take this precursor as our starting material and try to write this retrosynthesis, so we can break one of the 4 membered ring to form or to get it from the this diene precursor. So if we will take this front 4 membered ring and cleave this bond here, then we can get this molecule by doing a 2 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction on this diene precursor. Similarly, you can break the other 4 membered ring also. Then, like both of these compounds are similar in both of these compounds are same. So just by doing a 2 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction, you are able to form the two other 4 membered rings that are present in the molecule, despite of the 5 membered rings that are there. Now we have a cyclohexene ring, that means a 6 membered ring having a double bond. So wherever we have a 6 membered ring having a single double bond, then the first reaction that should come to our mind is the Diels-Alder reaction, which will give access to this double bond in the cyclohexane. So this could be obtained further from this bromo substituted cyclopentadieneone. So this is the diene and this is the dienophile. So this is the self uh, Diels-Alder reaction. Your diene and dienophile are same. Now, what are the problems in preparation of this starting material is that once that your cyclopentadieneone is highly unstable because it is an anti-aromatic compound. Then, so it is difficult to prepare. So they start their synthesis with this pentenone, and then using NBS in the presence of light, they did allylic bromination. Further, on treatment with bromine, you will get this tribromo compound. Then, once you treat it with triethylamine, so we have two acidic hydrogens present alpha to the carbonyl compound. So, your triethylamine will take this proton and your bromide will leave. Similarly, that other proton it will take and other bromide will leave. And you will get your diene or dienophile. Then this diene will undergo Diels-Alder reaction with the other molecule of this cyclopentadieneone to give you this 4 plus 2 adduct. Now we have to do the protection of the two carbonyl groups. One is the isolated one and other is the unsaturated one. So using this ethylene glycol in the presence of PPTS as the acid source, so we will do dye protection followed by like using aqueous HCl, we did the deprotection of the unsaturated ketone. Then in the presence of light, they did 2 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction, so we will get the 4 membered rings. Now we have to convert the 5 membered ring to the 4 membered ring. For that, they treated it with KOH, that is the nucleophilic base. So your base will attack carbonyl carbon, then this will come here, then this will come, and this group bromine will leave. So you will get their carboxylic acid. Now for getting the carbon, we have to remove this carboxylic acid, and that can be done by doing the decarboxylation reaction. For that, they convert this carboxylic acid first into acid chloride by treating it with thionyl chloride, and then by treating it with pyridine and butyl hydroperoxide, they convert it into this per acid, and then on heating under like using cumene, they get the decarboxylated product. Now this same procedure we have to repeat with the other carbonyl group. First, deprotection of this ketal will give you ketone. Then on treatment with base, you will get the Quasi-Favorsky rearrangement product, this carboxylic acid. Then similarly converting that carboxylic acid to the acid chloride, followed by treatment with this per acid, and then on heating you will get the cubane. So this is the total synthesis of cubane reported by Eaton and co-workers in 1964, where they used Quasi-Favorsky rearrangement reaction as the key step. So in this reaction, this quasi-rearrangement reaction is the Quasi-Favorsky rearrangement is the key reaction. Any doubt? Is this clear? Okay. So let's move forward. Now the second molecule that we have to um, learn about is the endandric acid. So this endandric acid also contain a four-membered ring that is fused with different five or six-membered ring based on the structures of the, or based on the like family member of this endandric acid family. So if this is, there are endandric acid A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So they were isolated by Black and co-workers in 1980, and they shows antibiotic activities. So if we will talk about the hypothesis, that is the biosynthesis proposed by Black group. So he proposed the biosynthesis in such a way that this endandric acids could be obtained from this cyclo sorry this octadiene, octene, by doing a con rotatory 8 pi electrocyclization reaction. So this cyclization will happen in the cone rotatory fashion. So this bond either will migrate in one direction on the right side or the left side. So based on that, we will get these two products which are similar. Then this will undergo another 6 pi electrocyclization reaction, which will occur in the disrotatory fashion to give you endandric acid E and endandric acid D. Further, we have this diene and we have this dienophile. Sorry. You have this diene and this dienophile. So on from this endandric acid, if you will do Diels-Alder reaction, then one can get this endandric acid A. Similarly, if we will change this side chain and then do the cone rotatory 8 pi electrocyclization reaction followed by 6 pi electrocyclization reaction, then you will get endandric acid F and endandric acid G. And this diene will undergo Diels-Alder reaction with this dienophile from the endandric acid F to give you endandric acid B. And endric acid G also, we have this diene and this dienophile which will undergo Diels-Alder reaction to give you the endandric acid C. So this endandric acid was first synthesized by Nicholas group, and he, based on the biosynthesis, he devised his retrosynthetic analysis in such a way that this endandric acid A and B could be obtained by doing a Diels-Alder reaction on this precursor. And we know that this olefins could be obtained by doing a Wittig reaction. When you have stabilized Wittig, then you will get transalkene. And if you have unstabilized Wittig, that means conjugation was not there, then you will get cis alkene. So this he used in his synthesis. So now we can get this alkene from the aldehyde, and to separate these, like to differentiate these two aldehyde, he used the two different environments. Then this cyclohexene and substitute fused with this cyclobutane ring could be obtained from this this octaene, which further could be obtained. Now this is the cis double bond, and we know that from alkyne, if we will use Lindlar's catalyst, then we will get the cis alkene. So alkyne on treatment with Lindlar's catalyst will give you cis alkene, and if you treat it with like Birch reduction condition, then you will get the trans alkene. So then they used this alkyne precursor, which further could be obtained by coupling of this alkyne with another alkyne in the presence of this copper salt. We called it as Glaser coupling. So this is the radical process where one radical will, this alkyne radical will form, which will combine with other radical, and this will give you this carbon-carbon bond formation between two terminal alkynes in the presence of copper as the like copper catalyst. So they start their synthesis with this alkyne E9. So this undergoes Glaser coupling in the presence of copper catalyst to give you this carbon-carbon bond formation product. Then using Lindlar's catalyst, they convert this alkyne to cis alkene, which further undergoes 8 pi electrocyclization reaction to give you this cyclized product. And then another 3 double bonds are there. So this will undergo disrotatory 6 pi electrocyclization reaction under thermal condition to give you this cyclized product. Then you have primary alcohols. So one of the primary alcohol you protected using this TBDPSCl, but this was not selective. They will get both in both the products. So in for that purpose, they did first here iodolactonization reaction. So if we will treat this diene with this iodine in the presence of K2CO3, so first iodination will take place, and then this alcohol will attack on that iodonium ion to give you this product. Then now we have only one free alcohol. So sorry. So first that iodonium ion will form, and then oxygen will attack from the opposite face of that iodonium ion to give you the this cyclized product, and that this iodine will come there. Yeah. Then one of the free alcohol was there, so that they protected using TBDPSCl, and then using zinc dust. So zinc will coordinate with this iodide, and this will remove to give you the elimination product. So you will get the diene back. So this, that is how they did the selective protection of one of the alcohol and differentiate that. Then they did Apple reaction of this alcohol by treating it with CBr4 in the presence of PPH3, and they got this bromo compound. Then substitution with the sodium cyanide, they got the cyanide here. Then partial reduction of that cyanide with dibyl H will give you the aldehyde. Then using this Wittig salt, by treating it with LDA, they prepared this ylide, phosphonate ylide, and did this Horner-Wadsworth Emmons olefication reaction. So now, because this negative charge, or whatever the negative charge or this ylide is forming, it is stabilized because of the resonance with this olefin. So that is why this is stabilized Wittig. And stabilized Wittig will give you trans alkene. So that is why you are getting this trans double bond. Then you have this diene and a dienophile. So under using toluene as the solvent and under heating condition, they did this Diels-Elder reaction. So this will go, and you will get this product. Then TBDPS was removed using TBEF. So they got here this alcohol. Again, they converted that to first bromide, and then substitution with sodium cyanide. You will get the cyanide here. After getting this cyanide, on doing hydrolysis of that cyanide using KOH and methanol, you will get carboxylic acid, and this is the endantric acid A. Then partial reduction of that cyanide followed by Wittig reaction, and then hydrolysis of this ester to the acid will give you endantric acid B. Then for the other endantric acid, they proceed further with this cyano compound that they have already prepared. So then TBDPS deep protection followed by hydrolysis of cyanide to get the ester in the presence of methanol, because they are doing the hydrolysis. That is why they are directly getting the ester and not the acid. Then that alcohol was converted to the bromide, then followed by that substitution with cyanide, sodium cyanide, you will get the cyano compound. Dibel H will convert that cyanide to aldehyde. Again, they will do this with Horner Wadsworth Imon's Wittig reaction. So you will get this transalkene. Then this ester was hydrolyzed using KOH, and you will get this endantric acid D. Further, this acid they reduced using dibel H to the aldehyde and did other Wittig reaction to give this transolefine. And because of this ester, this is also stabilized Wittig. So they got then after hydrolysis of this ester, they got endantric acid G, and this endantric acid C, whatever they have now on sorry, this compound on doing this Diels-Elder reaction used in presence of toluene as the solvent under reflux condition will give you endantric acid C. Then whatever the precursor was there, so using TBAF, they deprotected this TBDPS group, converting that alcohol to the bromide using Apple reaction, and then substitution with sodium cyanide will give you this cyano compound, followed by hydrolysis of that cyanide will give you acid. So this is endantric acid E. And then using dibel H, they convert that to the aldehyde. Other Wittig olefination reaction followed by hydrolysis of that ester will give you endantric acid F. So using Wittig reaction, first electrocyclization reaction, they prepared their common intermediate. Then using Wittig reaction, they complete the total synthesis of endantric acids. And the other key reaction is the Diels-Elder reaction. So that is how Nicolos group complete the total synthesis of all the endantric acids from this family. Any doubt about any reaction? Okay. Then the third molecule that we have to discuss about is penicillin. So this penicillin was discovered by Sir Alexander Fleming in late 1920s, and it is a antibacterial agent widely used in World War II. Then the first total synthesis was reported by Professor G. Sheehan in 1957. Now, if you will see the structure of this penicillin V, so it consists of a beta lactam ring. So this is also a four-membered ring having amide group, and any compound having amide in the ring, we called it as lactam. Then it this lactam ring was fused with another five-membered ring having sulfur, and a side chain, this side chain amide containing compound was there, so that we can say that this consists of uh, this amino group substituted with the acyl, different acyl substituents. So this beta lactam ring could be obtained by doing a cyclization reaction or cycloaddition reaction. Then one can do ring expansion, insertion, or from acetidines we can prepare these beta lactam rings. Now, by how one can do the cyclization reaction. So if in a molecule you have this beta amino acid, so with respect to acid, this amino group is present at the beta position, and then that acid you will convert to the acid chloride, or some leaving group you will attach with that carbonyl carbon. Then nitrogen can attack that carbonyl carbon, and that leaving group will leave to give you the beta lactam ring. And these beta lactam rings were not stable under heating condition because they will undergo that retromichael addition, sorry, retromichael reaction to give you this alpha beta unsaturated acid and this amine. So one of the reaction is the cyclization reaction, where you are converting that acid into a leaving group containing carbonyl compound, and then the nitrogen is attacking at the carbonyl carbon and leaving group will leave. So this is the first method. But one can use that acetyl chloride, or one can use this PCl3. So these are all the sources of chloride which will convert your acid into acid chloride, and then nitrogen can attack that carbonyl carbon to leave the chloride. So you will get this beta lactam ring. Then, if your nitrogen was already tri-substituted, then if the carboxylic acid was there, then it will attack on the carbonyl carbon, and then that nitrogen will attack in intramolecular fashion to open the or to cleave this bond. So this is making this group a living group. Then your acid, whatever is there in the presence of this thionyl chloride, it will convert into acid chloride, that is the byproduct, and you will get the beta lactam ring. Similarly, if you have this N-substituted diethyl malonates, that will undergo base catalyzed ring closure to yield the beta lactam. Now, here you are using this Grignard reagent, and one can think that ester is there, so this can attack on the uh, carbonyl carbon, but this is not reacting with the carbonyl carbon because you're you are using a bulky Grignard reagent, and this will act only as the base and not as the nucleophilic reagent. So this will abstract only the proton from this amine, and then the nitrogen will push the like uses its lone pair to attack on the carbonyl carbon to give you this beta lactam ring. Then in the if nitrogen is substituted with this diethyl malonate, then this is the hydrogen that is attached like on the active methylene position, and it is very acidic in nature. So base will easily abstract this proton, and then like your leaving group was present at the correct position, so this will attack at that carbon to do the SN2 substitution, and you will get this beta lactam ring. So one can do substitution on the like nitrogen can attack on the carbonyl carbon if leaving group was there, or if that leaving group is present at the alpha position of the carbonyl carbon, then also that active methylene carbon will attack at this that position to do the SN2 substitution, and in both the cases you will get beta lactam. Then one can use the cyclization reaction of beta gamma unsaturated hydroxamates. So this is your hydroxamate, this cyclized this circle one, and at the beta gamma position you have unsaturation. So now if you are treating it with bromine, so first bromonium ion will form, then nitrogen will attack that bromonium ion to open this bromonium ion from the back side to form this beta lactam ring. Then the other way to form the four-membered ring is the cycloaddition reaction, where you will do a 2 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction between a nucleophilic olefin and these isocyanate. So this chlorosulfonic substituted isocyanate on reaction with your olefin, that should be nucleophilic in nature. So they will undergo a 2 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction to give you this beta lactam ring. And this thionyl group could be easily removed, or this sulfonic chloride could be easily removed by treatment with water. So water will attack the sulfur, and this sulfur nitrogen bond will cleave. So this is the cycloaddition reaction. Then the other way to form the beta lactam ring is by doing a ring expansion reaction. One of the reaction of ring expansion we saw in the cubane synthesis also, and this is the other way, that if you have a cyclopropane substituted with a hydroxy group and a nitrogen attached with a leaving group, they are at the geminal position, then using silver salt, that silver will take this chlorine and positive charge will come at the nitrogen. Then this three membered ring, it is acting as the olefin only, so this will attack in the nucleophilic fashion to the electrophilic nitrogen and form the four membered ring. then the positive charge will come at the adjacent position of the hydroxyl group. So oxygen lone pair will push the electron density to neutralize that positive charge, and after the loss of proton, you will get this beta lactam. So this is the other way of getting beta lactam ring. Then next is carbene insertion reaction. So carbenes, we know that we get from the diazo compound by treating it with rhodium acetate, or like in place of rhodium, one can use copper also. So that rhodium in the that diazo compound under photochemical condition will, this nitrogen will lost, and you will get this carbene. Then wherever the carbene was there, so it can form this CH insertion. It will undergo CH insertion to give you this beta lactam. So by doing a cyclization reaction, a ring expansion reaction, carbene insertion reaction, one can prepare this beta lactam ring. Now how one can use this synthesis of these reactions in the synthesis of penicillin V. So this retrosynthesis of penicillin V was summarized here, that this penicillin V, now the most labile group is this beta lactam ring. So beta lactam ring could be obtained by doing this lactamization. So this, from this acid and this amine, one can get this beta lactam ring. Then you have on one side five membered ring, and another side you have this nitrogen containing or nitrogen substituted with this acyl group. So easily one can get this from this thalamide. And when we discussed about that Gabriel thalamide synthesis, so that reaction was one can use for with that by treating it with the di uh, that hydrazine, this thalamide could be converted to the primary amine, and then that amine can be treated with acyl chloride or something to get the side chain. Okay, then for the formation of this five membered ring, one can use this aldehyde and this thiol group to do the double cyclization to form this five membered ring. So they start their synthesis with this valine, and this is the racemic synthesis because they are not using any chiral source. But after that, they are doing the resolution. So there, the synthesis become asymmetric. So they started with this vanillin and first treated with this chloroacetyl chloride. So that nitrogen lone pair will attack this carbonyl carbon, and your chloride will leave. So this N-acyl group will form. Then on treatment with acetic anhydride, they are getting this interesting intermediate. So how this intermediate was forming? Your carboxylic acid will react with your acetic anhydride to form a mixed anhydride. So this mixed anhydride is forming in the first step. Then nitrogen will push the electron density, and this carbonyl oxygen will attack the carbonyl carbon of this mixed anhydride, and this alkoxide ion will form. Then once the that oxygen will push the electron density back, or the electrons will fall back, then this acetate group will leave. And this acetate, whatever is leaving, it will abstract this acidic proton to give you another enolate, and that enolate will fall back to remove this leaving group, that is chloro. So then after that, isomerization will give you this intermediate that they used in the synthesis of this penicillin. So once they get this intermediate, then treatment with this hydrogen sulfide in the presence of sodium methoxide, so this will generate SH negative. So this will undergo, this is a soft center, so it will attack at the soft center. So this is the carbon is the soft center, so it will undergo Michael addition and not the direct addition. So after Michael addition, you will get this addition product. Then as methanol was sodium methoxide was already there, so methoxide ion will attack on this lactone, and then this ring will open up to give you this compound where nitrogen was acylated and your thiol group was there, and this is the racemic compound. Then after that, This acyl group they removed you by treating it with HCl and in the presence of water. So HCl will protonate this, and then water will attack at that carbonyl carbon and NH2 will leave. Then that NH2 will react with this acetone. So it first this nitrogen will attack on the carbonyl carbon, so alcohol will form, and then that sulfur will remove that uh, um, hydroxyl group to form this five membered ring. Then using carboxylic acid, they sorry this formic acid and acetic anhydride, another this will form another mixed anhydride, and then nitrogen will attack at that formyl carbon to get this CHO group here. Then using brucine, which is an alkaloid, they resolve this compound. So this resolution means you have a achiral compound, and then you are using a chiral source to attack on that aldehyde, or to react with that acid. So this will make a mixture of diastereomers, and diastereomers can be like they can be separated by the column chromatography. Then after separation you will remove this group by doing the transformation where they are using this concentrated HCl. So then you will get your your asymmetric compound. So you will get here this compound, that resolved one. Then that formyl group they used removed using two normal HCl, and then here that compound should not exist in the deuterionic form. That's why they are treating it with excess HCl. So this that nitrogen will also coordinate with that HCl. So this penicillamine hydrochloride will form. Then the other aldehyde that you want for the completion of the total synthesis of this penicillin, they started with this third butyl thaliimidoacetate. Then treatment with base will abstract the proton, so negative charge will come here, and then this will attack on this aldehyde carbon, and this group will leave. Third butoxide group will leave. So you will get this aldehyde at this position. After that, you treat it with this d-penicillamine hydrochloride. So first, this in the presence of base, sulfur will attack on this aldehyde, and then nitrogen will attack to form this D alpha and D gamma, which they are able to separate. After formation of this compound, now at this center they are getting the difference in the stereochemistry. So then Thalamide they removed using hydrazine. So hydrazine will attack one of the carbonyl carbon. This nitrogen bond will cleave. Then another molecule of hydrazine will attack the other carbonyl carbon. This bond will cleave. So you will get NH2 first. And in the presence of HCl, they are isolating this salt. Then by treating it with this acyl chloride, they are forming that side chain, that acyl substituted amine, and then the lactamization was remaining. So for that, first they hydrolyzed this ester and they got this acid. After that, they treat it with KOH to abstract the proton from the other carboxylic acid so that it will not interfere in the coupling reaction. So using DCC, this is the intermediate. So your that carboxylic oxygen will attack on the uh, nitrogen, and this NH will form. So then the nitrogen will push the electron density towards the carbonyl, and this group will leave. So your urea derivative is the byproduct of this reaction, and then you will get this potassium salt of penicillin V. So this is how they complete the total synthesis of penicillin V by using lactamization reaction as the key reaction. Using DCC coupling, they did lactamization. Then their first that acetic anhydride reaction uh, was giving the first intermediate. That was the main reaction they used, and then a simple removal of the thalamide group, and that cyclization reaction are the key steps. Any doubt about any reaction? Okay. So in the coupling reaction only, they are getting one side reaction where this azolactonization was taking place. When they are treating it with KOH, so this proton abstraction was taking place, and then using DCC coupling, so this nitrogen will pushing the electron density towards uh, that coupled that it on this intermediate carbonyl carbon, and this major side product was there they are getting. Then the next molecule that we have to discuss about is this uh, theanamycin. So this is the structure of this theanamycin. The difference comes here is that this thiol group comes in the side chain, one thing, and then in the penicillin we have nitrogen substitution. That amine substituted with acyl group was there. In this case, we have this aldol product. Why we are telling this aldol? So this is alpha and this is beta. So this is beta hydroxy ketone, and beta hydroxy ketone is nothing just aldol. So here you have this CH3CHOH group was there present next to at the alpha carbon of the carbonyl group. So this scientist at the Merck discovered this antibacterial properties of this compound once the bacteria got resistance on the penicillin. So we will discuss about the two synthesis by the Merck group. One is the asymmetric synthesis, and other one is the racemic synthesis, where they prepared the bulk lot of the this antibacterial drug theanamycin. So this theanamycin could be obtained by doing a conjugate addition of this thiol group and followed by elimination on the beta keto ester. So here beta keto ester was there. So you will prepare this enol. So once this like alpha beta unsaturated ketone ester will form, so there that the thiol group will do the conjugate addition, and then elimination of this enol will give you the theanamycin at the late stage. Then this carbon nitrogen bond or this five membered ring they are preparing using carbene insertion, and that carbene you will get from the diazo compound. Then this beta keto ester could be obtained by from this diethane compound, and that side chain was introduced using acetaldehyde by doing a aldol reaction. To get this diethane, they used the substitution reaction of this diethane. So once this diethane was treated with n-butyl lithium, so this is the very acidic proton between the two, like present at the carbon between the two sulfurs. So this will undergo like lithiated species will form, and that will undergo substitution at this ido compound, which further could be obtained from this by functionalizing this ester, and then beta lactam ring could be obtained by doing substitution of this amine and this ester, which further could be obtained from this L-aspartic acid. So they start their synthesis from this L-aspartic acid. So this L-aspartic acid, they did benzylation on of both the acids. Then that nitrogen was protected using TMS chloride, and after that this tert-butyl magnesium chloride will abstract the proton from the nitrogen, and then attack on this ester will give you beta lactam ring. Then your ester was reduced using NaBH4 and methanol to get this alcohol, which they converted into mesylate, followed by treatment with sodium iodide. So Finkelstein reaction they did, and they will get this iodo compound here. Where that apple reaction didn't work, then we have to use this two-step procedure. So some of the reactions we can't use this apple reaction, or this reaction will not work. Then we have to convert that alcohol into a good living group, and then substitution with sodium iodide or potassium iodide in acetone under heating condition will give you the product. So that's what they used here. So then they got this ido compound, and then nitrogen they protected using this TBDMSCl, tert butyl dimethyl silyl chloride. So after getting that protection of that nitrogen. Then using this lithiated species, so this will form, but that diethane once will treat with n-butyl lithium, so this lithiated species will form. Then this will attack at this carbon and it will undergo substitution to give you this compound. Now at in this case, sorry, this compound will form. Then using LDA, that proton abstraction was take place, and then aldol reaction with this acetaldehyde will give you a new stereo center, and they got 1:1 mixture of these two. After that, for converting to get the major, like this is the 1:1 mixture. So for completion, like for the completion of synthesis, we need one of the isomer as the major one. So for that they did oxidation. And for like whenever you have any alcohol, so one of the method for like getting one of the product as the major one is to do oxidation followed by reduction reaction. So what they, that's what they did here. They did oxidation of that alcohol followed by reduction with case electrite, so selectively one product they will get maximum. So now they got one of the that 9:1 mixture of at the ca tapimers, and whatever they want they used uh, corresponding to that case electrite. Other way to get this is by using this imidazole and acylated imidazole. So that's what that from that also they will get this carbonyl compound, and then again using case electrite they will selectively get one of the alcohol. After getting that, they want to remove this diethane group, which they get using this mercury salt. So whenever this diethane moiety was there in any molecule, so by treating it with Hg2 positive, that group will remove and you will get the ketone. Then this TMS group they removed using H2O2 and methanol. So they got the corresponding carboxylic acid. And this on treatment with diimidazole, carbonyl diimidazole, you will get this imidazole substituted carbonyl compound. And then by treating it with this like magnesium and that that group they wanted to substitute it at this carbonyl carbon, so that carbon will attack and you will get this beta hydroxy ketone. So after getting this beta hydroxy ketone, they wanted to form the five membered ring. For that, they did uh, diazotization using this azide. Then by treatment with rhodium acetate, you will get carbene here. Then nitrogen or that carbene will insert between this nitrogen hydrogen bond to give you this compound. Now, for doing the Michael addition, they converted this beta keto ester by treating it with this phosphorus, phosphonium salt. So they converted this into enol phosphonate, and then substitution with this thiol group. So this will attack, this will go, and once it will revert back, so this group will leave, because oxygen is phosphorus is oxophilic in nature. So this will make this group a very good leaving group. After that, they did that removal of that PNB group, paranitrobenzoyl group using hydrogenation condition. So hydrogenolysis will take place, and you will get your compound plus thianamycin. That is the asymmetric synthesis of this compound. Any doubt in any reaction? Okay. Then for the total synthesis of this molecule, or the racemic synthesis, where they can prepare this thianamycin in the large quantity, for that they started with this ketodiester compound. Then on treatment with the benzylamine, this enamine will form. And then on treatment with ketene, so this nitrogen lone pair will push the electron density, and this will attack on this ketone, sorry, carbonyl carbon, and you will get this methyl ketone. Then again, that keto like tautomerism will take place to give you this enamine. Then sodium cyanoborohydride will reduce this ketone as well as this enamine, and you will get this compound. And this is the racemic one. That's why they are showing this kind of bond. Now, did you know the difference between this bond and this bond? Or you can say like differentiate it here, where once we have this tapered bond and other one is the straight bond. Did you know the difference between these two? Like one is the relative, one will tell you the relative stereochemistry and other will tell you the fixed stereochemistry. So whenever you are using this bond that is not tapered, so this will tell you that you have two compounds, like both the possibilities are there. Here they are showing this compound where this dashed bond is not tapered. So that means you have one more compound. This is racemic synthesis. So you have one more compound where all the groups are above. That's why they are showing this bond, and not, like this is relative stereochemistry. All the groups with respect to each other are alpha, but in 50% ratio, other isomer is also there. Okay, so this will tell you about the relative stereochemistry. And this bond we will use for like specific stereochemistry. Instead of this, if I will write, like instead of this tapered bond, if I will write this bond, then only this molecule is there. Its isomer is not there, or its enantiomer is not there present in this solution. Clear? Yeah. So whenever you have enantiomers, so that is 50 is to 50 mixture of both the isomers. So that's where we will use this relative stereochemistry or that relative bond. So after getting this compound, then once they treat it with concentrated HCl, so this bond rotation will take place and oxygen will attack on this ester group, and that OET will leave to give you this cyclized compound. Then that benzyl group was removed using hydrogenation condition, and in the presence of acid only they are isolating this compound. Then by treating it with benzyl alcohol in the presence of acetic acid, so that alcohol will attack on this lactone, and this will open up the this lactone ring, so you will get this compound. After that they did DCC coupling of this amine and this acid, so they got this beta lactam ring. Then they protect that nitrogen using TBDMSCl, third butyl dimethyl silyl chloride. After that, they did again debenzylation using hydrogenation condition, so they got this acid. Then, on treatment with carbonyl diimidazole, they prepared this carbonyl imidazole. Then, on treatment with this Meldrum's acid and in the presence of base, so this Meldrum acid will attack on this carbonyl carbon and the imidazole part will leave. So, you will get this enol. After that, when you will treat it with benzyl alcohol, that alcohol will attack on the carbonyl carbon. So your acetone will leave, CO2 will leave, and you will get this beta keto ester. After getting this, they did here the removal of this R group, that is the acylyl protecting group using HCl and methanol. So they got OH and NH. Now, in this case, they are getting the reverse stereochemistry at this position. So for inverting the stereochemistry, they used Mitsunobu reaction, where we treated this alcohol with PPH3, diet, and your formic acid. So then you will get the acid with the other stereochemistry. So this is Mitsunobu reaction, where acid and alcohol will give you ester with the opposite stereochemistry. So um, that's what happened, and they got this acid with the opposite stereochemistry, which they hydrolyzed using HCl and in the presence of methanol. So they got this alcohol. Then the only like the only reaction they are left with to form the five membered ring by doing a carbene insertion reaction. Before that, this same molecule they can get, or that same intermediate they can get by doing a intramolecular Mitsunobu reaction. So at this position they want to invert the stereochemistry. For that, they treat it with base. So open this lactone. So they got this acid and alcohol, and by treatment with pph3 and this diethyl azo dicarboxylate, this one, so they will get substitution at this position, and you will get the opposite stereochemistry of this methyl. So then using concentrated HCl, they did hydrolysis of this ester group, and then using the same procedure they can get this intermediate which they prepared using the previous steps. So after getting this intermediate, they did diazotization, then treatment with rhodium acetate. Carbene will form. That carbene will undergo insertion between the nitrogen hydrogen bond to give the five membered ring. Then again treatment with this salt, you will get this enol phosphonate, and then Michael addition followed by elimination, you will get this compound. Then at last you want to do the debenzylation, sorry, hydrogenolysis of to remove this paranitrobenzoyl group, so you will get this racemic thianamycin. So in this way they can prepare this racemic thianamycin in a large scale. Clear? Any doubt in any reaction? Okay. So the last molecule that we have to discuss about is prostaglandins. So this prostaglandins contain this five membered ring having two substituents, and they were discovered in 1930s by von Uller. And like it consists of a five membered ring, and the structures differ in the presence of the number of unsaturation in the two side chains. So this is PGA, PGB, and PGC, that depends on the position of the double bond with respect to the carbonyl group. So this is alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl group, but it is away from this substitutions or side chains. Then in this case, this is tri substituted, and in this case, this is tetra substituted. So this is PGABC when you have alpha beta unsaturated ketone in the five membered ring. When you have beta hydroxy ketone in the ring, then based on the position of the hydroxyl group, you will name it as PGD and PGE. And if you have dihydroxy 1,3 dihydroxy compound or substitution in the group, then this is PGF. And with respect to the side chain, that if the group is alpha or hydroxyl group is beta, you will name it as PG alpha and PG beta. And like substitution will be at that hydroxyl group will be present at the C9 position. With respect to that, we are naming this. So this is the nomenclature of prostaglandins. So the retrosynthesis, now for the PGF2 alpha, so in this case, now you have two double bonds. One is cis double bond and another is trans double bond. So whenever you have cis double bond, then you will use unstabilized Wittig, and whenever you have trans double bond, then you will use stabilized Wittig. So that's what they did. They cleave this bond. So this Wittig salt, and another side you will have aldehyde. So this aldehyde in situ, this alcohol will react with that aldehyde to form the lactone, and then this lactol could further be obtained by reduction of this lactone, and then the trans double bond you will cleave to get the aldehyde and the stabilized Wittig. Now this lactol could be obtained, or this aldehyde could be obtained from the protected alcohol by removal of that protection and oxidation, and then this lactone could be obtained from the corresponding acid and your alcohol. Now when this acid and alcohol will be there, then it will form another lactone. So that lactone you will get by doing a Baeyer vinegar reaction on this ketone. And now you have a six membered ring with a double bond. So one can use Diels-Elder reaction with ketene synthetic equivalent to get the six membered ring having a double bond. So this is the retrosynthesis for the prostaglandins. Now, in the Core's total synthesis, he started with this cyclopentadiene. So this cyclopentadiene on treatment with NaH will abstract the proton from here, and then on treatment with this methoxymethyl chloride, you will get this substitution product. Now, this is unstable below 0 degree Celsius because it will undergo 1,4 hydrogen shift. So this hydrogen can either migrate to this position or this position, and you will get these two compounds. So you have to do the reaction below 0 degree Celsius. So for that, this product, when they will get, so they treated it with this synthetic equivalent of this ketone in the presence of copper salt. So this copper salt will make this reaction possible by at 0 degree Celsius to get the cyclized Diels-Alder product. Once you will get the Diels-Alder product, then hydrolysis of this chlorocyanide using KOH and DMSO, you will get the ketone. Then using MCPBA, their first key reaction, that is that Baer Villiger reaction they did, and using sodium hydroxide, that lactone was open up to give this acid and this alcohol. Then using Ki and NaHCO3, they did idolactonization. So here idonium ion will form, and then this carboxylic acid will react to open this idonium ion. So you will get this lactone and this ido. Then acetic anhydride, they protect this alcohol, and using radical conditions, they deprotect that ido group, remove this ido group. BBr3 will help to remove this like whenever you have oxygen methyl group, so that will removed using BBr3. So they got this alcohol, again oxidation to get this aldehyde. So they did now their first key reaction, that is uh, this stabilized Wittig. By treating it with NaH, ylide will generate. This will react with your aldehyde. Now this is stabilized Wittig, so you will get the transolefin. Then using zinc borohydride, so they did this reduction of this alpha beta unsaturated ketone selectively. So they got the 1:1 mixture of this alcohol, and then using this tetra dihydropyrene, they did protection, and they got this THP protection. Then using dibelech, reduction of this lactol to lactol, and once the lactol was formed, so this is in equilibrium with the alcohol and aldehyde. So that aldehyde is reacting with your unstabilized Wittig to give you the cis olefin. Then at last, deprotection of these THP groups will give you prostaglandin F2 alpha. Clear? Any doubt in any reaction? Here in this protection, we are using dihydropyrene. Sorry.
No, ma'am, there is no doubt.
Okay. So why we are writing is THP? This is tetrahydropyrene. We are using dihydropyrene, but after protection, you are writing tetrahydropyrene. Can you think about that? Did you know the mechanism for this reaction? You have this dihydropyrene, and acid source was there. So what is the first step? Just think little bit. See, oxygen has lone pair, so it will push the electron density, and then this olefin will take this proton. So you will get this oxonium ion will form, right? And then your alcohol was there. So this alcohol will react at this alpha carbon to neutralize the positive charge on the oxygen. So when that functional group will attach, so this is, now you don't have any double bond in this molecule, right? So we are telling this dihydropyran because of the presence of this double bond, but here there is no double bond, so that is why this is tetrahydropyran. At all the positions you have hydrogen, so this is tetrahydropyran. So that's why we are writing THP. Okay, so this is like common confusion whenever you are using DHP, but after protection you will write THP. Clear? Okay, so now we will do the week 1 assignment questions. Okay, so you have already seen first week lectures, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I will give you some time and think about that and then try to answer. So the first question is, what is the difference between semi-synthesis and partial synthesis? So the first option is, semi-synthesis is the synthesis of portion of natural product, whereas partial synthesis is the synthesis of given molecule from the advanced precursor related to it. Second is, semi-synthesis is the synthesis of given molecule from an advanced precursor related to it, whereas partial synthesis is the synthesis of portion of natural product. Third option, semi-synthesis is the synthesis of portion of natural product, whereas partial synthesis is the synthesis of key intermediate that has already been converted into target molecule. And last is, semi-synthesis is the synthesis of key intermediate that has been already converted into the target molecule, whereas partial synthesis is the synthesis of given molecule from advanced precursor related to it. Take your time and tell me which one of this is the correct option.
Second one.
Second one. Okay. One is Anushka and another one Ishika. Ishika, you also tell me.
Ma'am, second option.
Correct. Second option is the correct option. Just give me a minute. So in the semi-synthesis, we are preparing a advanced, like we are preparing the given molecule from the advanced precursor, and in partial synthesis, we are just synthesizing any side fragment or any, like if we have, we are doing a convergent synthesis, so there are more than one fragment. So if we are synthesizing only one fragment, then that is the partial synthesis. And can you tell me what is total synthesis?
Ma'am, the chemical synthesis of a molecule starting from very simple starting.
Yeah, so that is the complete synthesis of a molecule starting from very simple starting materials. Correct. And this that the synthesis where that we are preparing the intermediate that is already converted into natural target molecule by some other group, that is known as
Formal synthesis.
formal synthesis, right? So there are four type of synthesis: semi synthesis, where we are preparing our target molecule from advanced precursor. Then formal synthesis, where we are preparing only advanced intermediate. Then we have partial synthesis, where we are preparing only portions of the target molecule. And then the complete synthesis from the commercially available starting materials is known as total synthesis. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Then second is name the first organic molecule synthesized in the laboratory.
Ma'am, urea.
Urea. From isocyanate that was prepared. Correct. Okay. Next is who coined the term synthesis first?
Colway.
Kolbe. Anushka, you also tell me which one is the correct option?
Colway.
Kolbe. Okay. Which of the following methods cannot be used for the preparation of three-membered ring? Simmons-Smith reaction, sulfur halides, SN2 displacement of 1,3-diketones or beta ketoesters, or cycloaddition of imine with ketenes. Fourth one. Okay. So the correct option is option 4. In Simmons-Smith reaction, what we will do, we will have olefin and we are treating it with zinc copper couple. So you will get the that cyclopropane ring. Then using sulfur halide also one can prepare three-membered ring and 1,3 beta diketone. Then the that active methylene compound and using dihalo compound one can do the cyclopropanation reaction. But cycloaddition reaction of imine with ketenes will give you how many membered ring? So imine means carbon substituted with nitrogen having positive charge, right? And your ketene. So how many member ring you will get by doing the cycloaddition?
4 member.
4 membered ring. Okay, so this will give you 4 membered ring but not the 3 membered ring. Okay. Then the synthesis approach where two or more fragments are synthesized separately and coupled at a later stage to obtain the target molecule is called convergent synthesis. Sorry,
Convergent synthesis.
convergent synthesis. And in divergent synthesis, what we will do? So if you have two fragments like A and B, then by using them, you are preparing a target molecule C. So this is convergent synthesis. And in divergent synthesis, by using two or more fragments, we are preparing a common intermediate C, let us suppose, and this common intermediate can be converted into like more than one natural product by doing functional group interconversions to get the like natural product of same family, but the same intermediate will give this all product. So that is known as divergent synthesis. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So just like if you have an advanced intermediate, then by doing different at different positions you have different hydroxyl groups. So by doing oxidation at one position you will get one natural product. By doing oxidation at other position or reduction at of carbonyl at other position, by doing simple transformation you can get the different natural products of the same family. This is the divergent synthesis. Okay. Next is identify the major product in the following transformation. You have a beta keto ester and you are treating it with base and this dibromo compound in the presence of tetrabutyl ammonium hydroxide. So what you will get? So what is the first step in this reaction? Take your time and think about it. Which one is the correct option?
Ma'am, option C.
Option C. Okay. So what is the first step? First, this active methylene proton was there. So base will take this proton and you will get a enolate. Then this enolate will react with your dibromo compound. So first substitution will take place. And again, proton abstraction. Enolate will generate, it will come back, and then this will attack at this other carbon to form the three membered ring. Then you have ester and you are treating it with potassium hydroxide. So hydrolysis of that ester will give you acid. So the correct option is option C. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, identify the correct intermediate in the following reaction. You have a diazo compound and you are treating it with rhodium acetate, and then treatment with phthalimide will give you this cycloaddition product. So which one of this following intermediate will form?
Ma'am, the first one.
Correct. Option is first. So how this will form? First, your carbene will form. So this will form bond with rhodium. Then, because carbene is electrophilic in nature, so oxygen will push the electron density to form bond with carbene. So here you will get negative charge and this will form positive charge. Then your phthalimide was there. So this negative will attack here, this will come here, and this will go. So then you will get this product. So the correct intermediate is option A. Then the major product A formed in the following reaction is, which one? Which name reaction is this?
Simon Smith.
Siemens-Smith reaction. Okay, so which one of the following is the correct option?
Option 4.
Option fourth. Correct. So what will happen? First, this zinc carbenoid will form. So that zinc will insert between the carbon iodide, and then this zinc will also coordinate with your alcohol. So whatever phase your alcohol was there, that cyclopropane ring will also form in the same phase, and then you will get this product with the same stereochemistry as that of the hydroxyl group. Clear? Okay. Next is identify the major product from the following sequence of reaction. You have nitrone and you have an olefin, followed by reaction with lithium aluminum hydride. So what which one of these following is the correct option?
On the fourth one.
Fourth one, think again.
The second one.
Sorry,
The second.
second one. Okay, let us find out. Second is the correct option. So you have nitrone and you are treating it with this olefin. Now, because of the presence of methyl group, this center is having negative partial negative charge and this is having partial positive charge. So oxygen will attack at this center and this olefin will attack to neutralize the positive charge on nitrogen. So your 3 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction will take place. So here you will get hydroxyl, sorry, methyl. And here is one another methyl. Now, in the presence of LAH, nitrogen oxygen bond will cleave. So you will get CH2, then you have OH and methyl. So this will form, right? Yeah. That carbon nitrogen bond will not cleave. Sorry, nitrogen oxygen bond will cleave. So that's why you will get this product B. Okay, so the last question is the correct structure of the major product formed in the following reaction sequence is. You have again diazo compound, you are treating it with rhodium acetate and then treating it with this alkyne. So what which one of this following is the correct product?
And the third one.
Okay, Anushka is saying third. Ishika,
Fourth one.
fourth one. Okay, so correct option is option 4. You are missing one double bond. See, we have alkyne and not alkene. Okay, so let us try how we will get this product. So first carbene will form. So I'm directly writing here carbene. Then this oxygen will push the electron density towards the carbene and you will get, here we will get the negative charge, oxygen we have the positive charge. Then you have this alkyne dimethyl acetylene dicarboxylate. So this negative charge will push the electron density as it is symmetrical, so there is no like point of regioselectivity. So what you will get, Here we have double bond, and these two ester groups are there. Fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Anushka, got it? Yeah. So that's all about today. If any doubt is there, you can ask. Okay. You can leave now. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
It's all right.